Alrighty, man. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG. Back with another reaction video. I said Mr. DDG. Mr. DDG 94 here. Back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to the heartbreaking story of Nate Dogg. First thing first, RIP to Nate Dogg. RIP to the homie, man. The master of the hook. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nate Dogg. RIP to him. You already know, man. One of the good, man. Arguably had the best hook on one of my favorite Snoop Dogg songs off the Doggy Style album. If you know, you know. When I met you last night, baby, for you open up your yap, I had a respect for you, lady, but now I take it all back. You already know. You already know where that song was going. You already know. I sing that whole goddamn song. So let me stop right now. But anyways, though, this is by my boys over at Music Vibe, man. You already know, man. They show that love over here in that channel. On the channel, we're going to show that love right back, man. Make sure you go subscribe to Music Vibe. Run them likes up. Run them views up. Run everything up over there. You already know, man. They show that love over here. We're going to show that love right back. Shout out to Music Vibe, man. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
One day, 50 Cent recorded the track 21 Questions for his legendary album Get Rich or Die Trying. However, Dr. Dre asked Nate Dogg to perform the hook that 50 initially sang.
Love me now. Would you love me if I was down?
This
And
decision
how
undoubtedly helped
you
the song appear in a whole
still have
new light,
love
since
for
Nate
me.
was one of the best in performing choruses.
I'm not a fan of this song.
Without exaggerating, Nate Dogg was the king of hooks. He didn't have a successful career. However, other artists wouldn't have become successful without his voice. 30 years have passed since Nate Dogg's first hit song, Regulate. For many, their love for hip-hop began after listening to this song.
The LBC on the mission trying to find Mr. Warren G.
Nate was born in the city of Clarksdale, in the state of Mississippi. His dad was a pastor, and his mom was responsible for singing in the church where little Nathaniel sang in the church choir. At the age of 14, after his parents' divorce, Nate moved to California. During one of the church picnics, being Snoop Dogg's cousin, he met Warren G. At the age of 17, he dropped out of high school in Long Beach and left home to join the U.S. Marine Corps. He was an ammunition specialist. After returning 3 years later, he was kicked out of the house by his mother. And together with Snoop, who was also given the proper send-off at home, the boys were forced to turn to crime to earn a living. But despite that, they never forgot about music. Under the influence of his then idol Richie Rich, whose group was called 415, they created a group called 213. Initially, yet another one of Nate's cousins, called Lil Half Dead, was included, but he later went solo. There was a studio in a store in LA, and that's where they recorded their first track, Long Beach is a Motherfucker. These guys recorded solely for themselves, just to be able to hear how their voices sound on tape. Snoop and Nate rap, and Warren tried to be the DJ.
You know, the homie that's in jail. You the homie babe, you know what I'm saying?
The pretty famous Dre, who happens to be Warren G's stepbrother, became one of the main guys in the rapidly rising label company Death Row Records. It was a difficult task to get him interested in 213's work. Dre was more interested in Snoop.
In the house with the pound like every day, and I'm right back up in you with Dr. Dre.
The young singer's official debut was on Dr. Dre's epic album, The Chronic, which led to the signing of a contract with Death Row. By the year of 1994, Nate was arrested a few times for crimes which include a robbery of a check-cashing company and Taco Bell. One More Day became Nate's first successful solo one. In the song, he talks about his time spent in prison. Our hero's time was ticking, and the release of his solo album was delayed. By that time, Warren G was offered a contract at Def Jam. First single from his debut, Regulate G-Funk Era, under the name Regulate, became famous worldwide. And, in sincere honesty, Nate Dogg deserves the main credit for that.
Facts. LBC on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G.
The song made it to the second spot in the Billboards and was nominated for a Grammy in the category of Best Song Performed by a Duo or a Group. This was a great honor for rap back in the day. The song was initially planned for the albums of both artists, but Death Row made it clear that there will be no solo albums from him until the end of 1995. Generally speaking, the relationship between Suge and Nate was tense from the very beginning. Nate always carried a gun and wore a bulletproof vest because he didn't trust people who went there. He felt scared every time he entered that building, while Suge just said they won't touch him and that he shouldn't be worried. He also thought that Suge's act at the Source Awards in 1995 was shitty.
Man, I thought to myself, like, why would you do that?
By 1996, Nate Dogg already had a few successful collab songs to his name, particularly with Tupac. If you were to check out the All Eyes on Me album, then you could notice Nate featured on 2 tracks that, along with the banger Ambitions as a Rider, are the opening tracks of the album.
But let's hold on. Can we go back? Can we go
Opening
back?
tracks of the
That motherfucker's scandalous though. I don't think y'all understand. That's scandalous. That man. Hold on real quick. Hold on.
Hey, Nate, you know you got
Had to pull it out. I had to. Every time I see this song, I can talk about scandal business. Y'all don't understand, dog.
That's why we finna do it. Dad's on the beat. Hey,
Y'all just don't understand.
The piano, nigga, just drop that shit like this here. I met you through my homie, now you act like you don't know me. So disappointed, cause baby, that shit was so phony. It's not phony, you see no love for my closest homies. Would've paid you no mind, but baby, you was all up on me. Watch you proceed with precision, you had to save a hoes. No, I ain't mad at you, baby, go ahead and play them fools. They chose not to listen, so now we stuck inside his house and can't leave without a bitch permission. Permissions to be a player, my alias is balls. Drop the top on these jealous niggas. Player, let me floss. Y'all don't wanna see me in pain. I leave that ass like Tony Braxton, never breathing again. It's I never liked your backstabbing ass trick. Used to watch your money grabbing who you back and bitch. Ready to bust. In the city, you don't know who to trust. The bitches slip scandalous.
She's so scandalous. She's so scandalous. Come on, man. Scandalous. She's so scandalous. I just had to listen to that real quick. I just had to. I'm sorry. I had to listen to that real quick.
The album.
No matter where I go,
I see the same hoes. Come on, man.
And finally, his debut album G-Funk Classic Volume 1 was released. To put it bluntly, Death Row completely disregarded his solo album, which had every bit of potential to have a good run in sales. The label stopped printing his discs, and just 3 weeks after its release, the album could not be bought anywhere. All of these misunderstandings led to Nate Dogg leaving the label and deciding to open up his own label company, where he bought the rights to his own music from Night. He added a few extra tracks and released G-Funk Classics Volume 1 and 2.
To all the non-believers, now I bet you see nobody does it better than me.
In the album's first week, it sold 33,000 copies and reached the 20th spot on the R&B charts. This quite seriously upset Nate. Those close to him said that it seems that he might be missing something when it comes to solo songs. His circle thinks that it was always easier for him to work with someone rather than alone, which is why Nate continued taking part in collab songs with many rappers.
And they weren't wrong. I'm not gonna sit up here and disrespect Nate Dogg, RP to Nate Dogg, but let's keep it real, dog. His solo hits just don't hit the same without a feature, bro. If Nate Dogg is not on a track with somebody else, it's not gonna hit the same. He has to have somebody on there with him, dog. He's not a great solo artist. He has some solo songs, but for the most part, he can't. it hits better when somebody's on that track with him, bro. I'm sorry, that's just how it's got to be with Nate Dogg, for real.
Hope you're ready
For the next episode, hey, hey, hey.
Only nigga that I trust is me. All the real smokers know Nate ain't passing nothing but dope.
Indeed.
And with his hooks, he was also helping those new to the game. Take the track with Fabulous as an example. Can't Deny It was the artist's first hit song, which helped the rapper gain popularity.
I can't deny it.
I'm a fucking rider. You don't wanna fuck with me.
Yeah.
He once said in an interview he wants to become the artist with the highest number of collaborations with other performers.
Different
Area code host.
However, he didn't forget about solo releases. So his next album became Music and Me, which peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Top R&B/Hip Hop Albums chart.
I got love.
See, this is decent. This is decent by himself.
Because the money's the game. Side homie, it's a Long Beach thing. Girls, so fine.
This ain't it. No, not at all. This is not it.
And later, the 213 group reunited, and they released their first and only album called The Hard Way.
Yup. Just about to call till Snoop Dogg came with that phone.
The final memorable
I
tracks
told you,
in Nate's
she's
career
a
were his
hoe.
collaborations with Eminem on Shake That and Have a Party with Mobb Deep and 50 Cent.
To the motherfucking mountaintop. Heard
I hate this song. I hate this song. It's a decent song. Not my cup of tea, but
All
it's a
of these
decent song.
masterpieces were recorded under the influence of alcohol and weed. He really liked drinking cognac in particular. For example, a bottle before a concert, another during the concert, and a third after the concert. All of the parties and the drinking led him down the wrong path, and this impacted his health. Nate had 9 kids, but he always tried his best to spend as much time with them as he could, and people took notice of that. As he himself has said, he had an angel on one shoulder and a demon on the other. And when his kids went to bed, by midnight, they would hear how their dad would pop another bottle. As one of his cousins said, when he'd drink, he would start tripping out. Trip out name was Buddy Love. And this Buddy Love could be seen in an incident in 2006 when he was drunk and broke into the house of a woman he was engaged to. She cheated on him, so he wanted to take back the ring he had gifted her. And the woman was not home alone, but with a guy who told Nate something that triggered him to beat him up. In the following year, he was involved in a serious accident. That was the beginning of the end. In that very day, he discharged himself from the hospital with internal brain hemorrhage to be able to perform in Vegas. Although he certainly should not have done that. Further, a few months later, Nate suffered a massive stroke, and he lost function in one half of his body. Snoop arrived at the hospital with his wife to pay his friend a visit. Snoop's wife said,
I thought you said you broke up with her. And he was like, nah, I can't break up with her yet. I still love her. And I didn't know what the hell they was talking about. Then I looked down, and there was a bottle of Hennessy right by his leg.
he decided to organize a choir. He didn't just do this for himself, but for his mother as well. When Nate was in the hip-hop industry, his mom couldn't listen to his tracks. She considered his work to be vulgar. Nate really wanted his mom to listen to his songs, so he invited her to the studio to help create songs. Despite that, he continued drinking, even though his family told him not to every single day, and he would respond saying not to worry about it. In 2008, he got married to LaToya Calvin. However, this marriage didn't last for long. She filed for divorce a few weeks later.
Damn.
Nate had enough problems on his plate without this issue. He had high blood pressure, which he was on medication for. However, stressful situations and his intense lifestyle led him to getting another massive stroke a few months later, which completely, physically incapacitated him for the rest of his life. He was fully paralyzed. He couldn't walk nor talk. He had to get a tracheotomy. Such a surgical procedure involves getting a tracheotomy, which is performed in cases of airway obstruction. After the operation, Nate communicated with eye movements. For his relatives and close ones, it was very hard to watch, knowing that his time was running out. On March 15, 2011, Nathaniel Dwayne Hale died at age 41 in Long Beach of complications of multiple strokes.
R.I.P.
After his passing, rappers spoke out about Nate Dogg by explaining how important of a figure he was for hip-hop. Snoop Dogg. We lost a true legend in hip-hop and R&B, one of my best friends and brother to me since 1986 when I was a sophomore at Poly High where we met. I miss you, cuz. I am so sad but so happy I got to grow up with you, and we'll see you again in heaven, because you know the slogan. I love you, buddy love. You will always be with me forever and a day. You put the G in G-Funk. You put the 1 in 213, and you put your stamp on everybody you ever did it with. All dogs go to heaven. Yo, homie and baby brother, Big Snoop Dogg. Warren G. You are free now, my brother. I will see you again one day. 50 Cent. I just landed Nate Dogg is dead. Damn. God bless him. R.I.P. He meant a lot to West Coast hip-hop. I've always been a fan of it. I wrote the chorus 21 Questions. I needed Nate to sing it for me. He had a way of making everything feel hard. Eminem. Nate's voice in music will never be replaced. He helped create the blueprint for West Coast hip-hop, and I was one of the lucky people who had the privilege to work with him and the honor to have him as a friend. Nate will be sorely missed. My condolences and prayers go out to his family and loved ones. The next video I recommend you watch is the heartbreaking story of DMX. If you liked the video, hit the like button, and please...
We already watched that. But anyways, though, shout out to Music Vibe once again, man. You already know they show love on the channel, man. R.I.P. to Nate Dogg, one of the GOATs of West Coast hip-hop, one of the GOATs of being the chorus, of being the hook master, as we call him. Call him the hook master because he is the master of the hooks. Most definitely, man. R.I.P. to him. But yeah, man, shout out to Music Vibe, man. You already know they show that love over here. We're going to show that love right back, man. Make sure y'all go run them views up, run them likes up, run them subscribers up, and all that good stuff. Make sure y'all sharing their videos and all their content, because they make good content. They really good at this. I wouldn't say they they one of the best. They're one of the best. They're one of the best at this music documentary type of videos. Most definitely. They one of the best out here, man. They one of the best out here. Shout out to them, man. RP Nate Dogg, and I will see you all in the next video. Till then, peace out.